I can feel like 80 rats in my Marys. Me and Drizzy back to back, it's getting scary. If you fucking with my eyes, just don't come near me. Put some bins all on your head like Jason Terry. Whoa.
Let's get it. The Faison View Podcast, episode 211, man. Let's get into it. My co-host and counterpart and brother is not here today, but that is okay. He will be here next episode. In place for him, we have his Game Shift merch. So as you already know, make sure you go get that merch. Make sure you go support and follow at We Are Game Shift. Handcrafted jewelry by yours truly. We only elevate, man. Knowing your worth, knowing what you can put out there, man. Creating your own lane, creating your own brands for yourself, man. That's what we preach and practice on this show, man. Every Thursday, 5 p.m. So let's get into it, man. As you can hear right here, I'm playing Her. Hey, man, this track list was amazing. Judas and the Black Messiah. Amazing movie. Amazing. I'm gonna wait until my counterpart and co-host and brother come to discuss and have that discussion. But moving forward, knowing your worth, man. Dave Chappelle Paid By Viacom. He got his millions for licensing of his show to streaming platforms such as Netflix, HBO Max, all those, etc. Next, wealth. How can it be created? And how can it be maintained in the Black community? We're gonna push the conversation forward because these conversations need to keep being had so we can understand and have knowledge on what we can do and how we can structure our finances. So let's get into it. Name 10 you ain't going to do, things you ain't going to do in the Black household. You got to name 10. I'm going to name you a good 10 that you not going to do. You're not going to get away with. You ain't going to do it. And Malcolm and Mary, man, amazing movie, yo. Like, breathtaking. So I'm going to get on that and what that meaning was and what the overall lesson of that movie was, honestly. Lastly, I'm coming with the would you rather. You know this? Would you rather everyone know the details of your love life or know the details of your finances? So you decide. You think about that. While this show is going on, you think about that one because that's a tough one. You want to know someone to know your love life or your finances. I don't want nobody in my pockets. I don't want nobody in my love life. So I don't know. But man, first and foremost, and because it's Black History Month, but I celebrate our Black brothers and sisters every single episode, if you're not aware. So the new time listeners, man, in celebration of Black History Month, man, Dave Chappelle alone stands alone for himself. Amazing, revolutionary comedian who stood the test of time in 2 to almost 3 generations now. Content has always been amazing, and what he's profound and really known for is the Dave Chappelle Show. The Dave Chappelle Show, which aired in the 2000s, set so many precedents and went over the top of people's heads for a long period of time. And Dave Chappelle, he's an icon, he's a legend, and he rightfully deserves licensing and ownership of his own material. And that's the problem, and that's kind of the discussion we're having about knowing your worth. And Dave Chappelle, he knew his worth. Dave Chappelle walked away from millions, because they offered him millions, but guess what? They still wanted a percentage or a portion or to keep licensing away from Dave Chappelle. He said, "No, I don't want that. I'm not cool with that. I'm not cool with that Comedy Central. I'm not cool with that Viacom." So let's fast forward. With all that being said, and Dave Chappelle resurfacing because it was a long period of time with Dave Chappelle, he went on a hiatus. And rightfully so. He did the right thing because guess what? It will pay off. When you know your worth and you keep pressing and pressing, you will get results. And that's why it's so important that we talk about ownership and knowing your worth and getting in good contracts and getting in good situations. Making sure you have a lawyer. So we just making sure that we're putting everything in place. That's why it's important for us to educate each other. I'm not all privy to everything myself, but I want to make sure I educate the next brother if I do have information, or the next sister if I do have information. So that's very important within this conversation. So Netflix, if you don't know, a couple months back, they aired the Dave Chappelle Show, in which we didn't know as an audience. We know we want to indulge in it. We love the Dave Chappelle Show. So as soon as we get on, we right into it. We tuning in. But Dave Chappelle, said, I have not been paid $1 And I will get my rights and I will have my licensing to my show. To my show. And this is ridiculous because it reminds me a lot of like college football. Like you have these people out here, such as Dave Chappelle, that's going hard for their craft, going in for their craft, one of the best for their show, one of the best outcome for everything. But guess what? You still don't want to pay this person for their likeness or their brand and their license and things of that nature. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. So what Dave Chappelle did and his amazing, amazing audience and fans, he told us, hey, stop watching it. They're not paying me. So can you guys please stop watching it and indulging in the show until they pay up, until they do the right thing and pay me my worth, understanding my worth. I put this show on my back. I got it on Comedy Central and you took from me. So I would like that back in return. You want to monetize off of Netflix, you want to monetize off these streaming platforms, you need to pay me. You need to pay me. And what Dave Chappelle is doing is setting a revolution all over. Not just with the comedians, with us black people and black entrepreneurs and black people, black creators. You will show us our respect. We create. Like that, and that's the craziest part about it. So many things revolve around us, but we don't have ownership. We don't have control over anything. And that is the problem. That's the issue. And what Dave Chappelle is doing is monumental. And I really love Dave Chappelle. He's one of my favorite comedians. But honestly, and that's what the conversation we had when it was me, my brother Dierus, and Hugh, where we were talking about Kevin Hart. I love Kevin Hart. We talked about, the why is he ain't funny, Not getting into that. But what we were discussing is just about how these certain people of power need to discuss and talk about these certain things. Knowing your worth, understanding these things in the backgrounds, and these people in the backgrounds, they're not good for you. Let's talk about it. Let's speak about it. Let's talk on social things and social injustice that we go through all the time. So it's good to have content because Dave Chappelle and all his stand-ups have always had content, but relating back to us, our people, what we should do, how we should maneuver. It's not just focused on jokes and comedy. Yes, within the jokes, it's a lot of truth. It is a lot of truth, and that's why I love and respect Dave Chappelle. And I'm so happy that he's getting paid his money because he deserves it. He deserves it. And everybody that's out there that's a creator and in a similar situation as Dave, which is a lot of us, know your worth. Push forward. Stand on your word, man. Stand on your word because you will get results. You will get results. And guess what? Let's start combining our mentals, our mindsets, our emotion. Let's put all that into projects with each other. You know what I'm saying? Let's not keep putting... I'm just being real with you guys. Let's stop putting our ideals in everybody else's mind. I'm not just saying a race thing or color thing. If your ideals are your ideals and you want to share them with somebody that you want to elevate with, then do that. But don't just share them with anybody. Because as you can see, it's a lot of stealing and plagiarism and all these things are going on. Keep your thoughts to yourself then, if that's the case. But I just know us as Black queens and kings, we need to combine our ideals and just keep moving forward, man. Keep moving forward. So with that being said, man, shout out to Dave Chappelle, man. We love you, man. For real. This is monumental. So moving on, just like we were talking about in regards to this, wealth. How can it be created and maintained in the Black community? I love podcasts. I indulge in podcasts. And one of my favorite podcasts is I Am Athlete, with Brandon Marshall, Fred Taylor, Shannon Crowder, and Ocho Cinco. Mainly because they're pushing the culture forward and they're talking about really things that are impacting us as Black people, honestly. And it being February, they had a guest on, a former NFL player, but very, very intelligent, smart guy. I want you to see this.
Which way should money flow in family? Which way should it go?
Down.
It should go down.
Yes.
When you got your first check, who you had to take care of?
Parents.
We had to go backwards.
Oh, Wale. He hit it.
We
He
had
hit it.
to, we
He
had to
hit
go
something.
backwards.
Hit that again.
We had to take,
Hit
we
that
had to
again.
take care
I'm
of the
with you, B.
people.
Hit that again.
What did he say? Yeah, take care of it, Cole. You preaching.
And what this clip really means, man, this hit me in so many different ways. When we get money as Black people, let's be honest and real. We get real money. I'm talking about rich or wealth. When we get real money, and we have a chance to leverage and do something with the money and invest in the money, You know what our problem is? The cycle in which he just spoke on. Our money goes upward when it should go downward. Our money goes up. As soon as you get your money, guess what? You like, oh yeah, man, you know, mama did everything for me, dad did everything for me. Absolutely, and they have. But we're talking about the general sense. So look, let's think about it like this. When your money goes straight to your grandparents, your parents, your elders, your guardians, your uncles, all these people of guardian status that molded you to be who you were. But guess what? They invested in you. So guess what? It is time for you to push that downward, invest in your little cousins, your nieces, more importantly, your sons, your daughters. You know, it is about going downwards in lineage and teaching them the cycle of money. And that's the problem. And finances. We don't really understand finances the way we should. Because when we get money in a lot of these different aspects, since we haven't had much, we spend it on miscellaneous things. And I love Lil Uzi Vert, but at the end of the day, a $24 million diamond, that could go to so much, and that's his money, understandably. But it's just certain things like that when we're talking about, you know, what we're putting our money towards. Because that 24 million can go down to lineage and lineage and lineage, and you can keep on making and recurring that money. That's what we call generational wealth, and that money can turn into billions, and that money can possibly turn into trillions. It is about what you're doing and who you're passing it down to. When we get money, we focus on, you know, buying our mother a house, buying our fathers a car, and things of that nature. And it's amazing that I have a good lineage, and I love all of my family, and especially my parents, because they always taught me, hey, when you get your money, worry about you. Especially me having a son, worry about your son. You know, you can give me something here or there, but I'm not worried about that. Help those who can't help themselves. Build a foundation for them. That's the most important. And if you see all these races and ethnicities, it doesn't go upward. It goes downward instantly. When they get money, you see these people are all different colors, and I'm not trying to say in specific places. We can be in restaurants, in different stores, carry out, anything of that nature. You see 15, 16, 17-year-olds just getting in the work field. That is called generational wealth. That's called generational wealth. They're passing down things to their little ones, so when they come up, they can build upon or make better. That's what we had to do as a community, and I just felt like that was very pivotal for us to hear, man. Very pivotal for us to hear. You got to be open to listening to these things and having dialogue. I don't feel like we have this conversation enough about our finances and what wealth really looks like, generational wealth looks like. We can talk about it all day. We can talk about being rich, but you have to apply the pressure. You have to apply the pressure. And it's nothing wrong with having conversations with your friends or family in this nature. I feel like we shy upon these moments, but we need to start having these conversations. We need to open up these rooms to create generational wealth, putting it down to our lineage and bringing that back up. So when we get older, guess what? Everything is already in place. I want to look back and say, okay, my name and what it stands for means way much more than I think it is. Because guess what? I created lineage. I created generational wealth. I want to keep creating and building upon. Keep building up and building upon. Like, that's all I want. I want my child, I want my son to be amazing in this world. But guess what? I don't want to have to worry about finances. Because we know, unfortunately, this world revolves around money. A dollar sign, the Bitcoin, whatever you want to say. It revolves around that. Because guess what it can get you? It can get you access. And that's just most important, honestly. I don't think it gives you happiness, no. But in order for you to be comfortable in a lot of ways, you need income. You need generational wealth. So it's very important that I had this conversation with you guys, for real. And I want to keep on having this conversation. When my brothers and co-hosts come back, we're going to continue to push this conversation forward, because it's very, very, very important, man. Ownership, man. Game shift. You know, we out here doing it. I'm talking, I'm living it. And I'm gonna continue. I'm not great. I'm not perfect. I'm just trying to be better than I was yesterday, guys. I'm just trying to push it forward. And that's why I love this Nipsey hat so much, because even though it says victory, it means so much more. This is a marathon, guys. We have to continue it. So moving on from that, on a lighter note, guys, on a lighter note, name 10 things you ain't gonna do in a black household. So this is the 10 things, man. 1, talk back or even make a point. You know, in a black household, you talk back, you even make a point or even think that you right. I'm not saying in all households, but y'all get the gist of what I'm saying. Don't play. Put your feet on the couch. Look here, your toe might end up missing. Don't even play them games. Don't play, especially with no black mother. Don't play with them games. Or grandmother. You know that plastic on there? You better sit softly, or it's gonna be war. Next, playing with any type of money. Don't play with any type of money at all. If you found with your parents' money, hey, don't play in a black household. That money, $1 can turn into a situation. So, touching the remote or moving it. I've had plenty of arguments with this one. Touching the remote or removing it. You better be ready for a war zone. You better be ready, cause that's one of them ones. Especially when you chilling out, man. You just got through the whole day. You relaxing. You just look around. The remote not there, boy. Especially having my brother and siblings. Oh yeah, you don't want. That's a problem. Walk in the house without wiping your feet. Look here, my mother don't play that. She ain't never played that. And I know in all black households, we don't play that. I know all of us don't probably take our shoes off, but you better wipe them feet before you come in that house. You hear me? And don't you dare. This is probably the biggest one in the black household. This might be the biggest one. Don't you dare, look at me, dare touch the thermostat. You even move that an inch, the whole household in shambles. Somebody gonna fight that day. I'm just telling you. Somebody gonna get fight, in trouble, maybe get whipped. You know, hey, praise. Cause you touch that thermostat, boy, it can get rowdy. Shower over 10 minutes. Y'all, shoot. All right, keep having world tours in the shower, in the black household. Go ahead, try it. Try it. You got 10 minutes tops. Ain't no hour, ain't no 30 minutes, ain't no heat on to the maximum. You got 10 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes, you better get up out of there. That water bill looking crazy. And it's funny because everything I'm saying, I'm starting to relate to because I'm getting older. It's so crazy, starting to become my parents. So, another one, especially in the black household, you already know we cook our vibes 24/7. Just being real with you. Ain't nobody trying to wash dishes. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody want, okay, we got the dish recycle, okay, but ain't nobody trying to go through all that. Plastic cups, plastic plates, plastic spoons, forks, and knives. Be in your way. And some napkins. Nobody be playing that. Nobody be playing that. You ain't gonna do it. You're not gonna use dishes in a black household like that. I'm just letting you know. Shoot, them paper cups, paper plates, don't play. Don't play, especially if you just been doing dishes a lot lately. Oh yeah. Black family be at that dollar store real quick. Ain't nobody playing. Shoot, ain't no shame in my game either. The thermostat and this one might be the biggest ones. And I used to do it too, so I'm laughing too. Leave the last swallow of juice in the fridge. You're a dangerous person if you do that. So I guess I used to do that. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. I'm not gonna do it. But leaving the last swallow of juice in the fridge, and I hate it when it's done to me, that's the funny part, is, detrimental in the black household. Detrimental. Don't leave a little, just drink it all. Why you gonna leave me that little bit? You disrespecting me more than anything, man. And then you making me throw the joint away after. Boy, you trying to get, pray. Touch the radio while your parents or guardians are cleaning. You don't touch that. You don't touch the Quiet Storm. You don't touch the Marvin Gaye. You don't touch the Kim, Sade. You don't want no prop, Frankie Beverly. You don't want no pots. You don't want no pots. Don't touch that. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn the hard way many times. And I ain't saying I got with nobody, none of that, you know, at all. But you get checked and look at what you doing. Hurt your little feelings real quick. What you doing? I don't want to hear that news. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I became an old soul, to be honest with you. Listen to my parents clean up, you know what I'm saying? Listen to that smooth jazz. 105 point. Which y'all youngest don't know about that. Man, y'all don't know about that. And lastly, this is a very key one. It goes unnoticed, goes unsaid. Making breakfast with turkey bacon and not informing everybody that it's turkey bacon. You better tell somebody. Because if somebody in the household take a bite and it ain't crunchy, it might be wood. I ain't saying turkey bacon bad. It's good. Turkey bacon is fine. But you better warn and inform a black household because it may go in the uproar. You heard me. So with that being said, man, make sure you comment below on what you ain't gonna do in a black household. So make sure you comment below on that one because that's definitely a funny conversation. I want to hear all different answers. So man, moving on. I just seen this amazing show on Netflix. Not show, but a movie premiere. Malcolm and Mary, man. Zendaya. I'm gonna just let that be known right now. I'm not aware of the other actor's name, but he did an amazing job, and he's been seen in other movies too. They both did an amazing, phenomenal job. This is probably one of my favorite movies of this year, by far. And Zendaya, she bodied this role so much. And I'm really just trying to give her credit first, just solely off the fact that we've seen Zendaya come from Disney and come all the way up to these 5-star production movies, and she deserves it. She deserves it. Shout out to you, Queen, because you bodied this role. Malcolm and Mary. The overall lesson of Malcolm and Mary, man, this movie taught me so much in such a little time. It's an hour 30 movie, but just the choreography, like everything, just everything. It was a black and white film, and I never really haven't. I probably have, but I haven't seen a movie that just stayed in the one setting or one scene, with one scenery. They were in a house and it was black and white. Malcolm, I think he was I want to say he of course he was a writer, he was an author. He was on his way to become a 5-star author, and he's waiting on his review, and he's talking with his wife Marie. When the scene cuts on, he's talking, he's excited about it. Everybody raved about the showcase of the premiere of the movie, in which he wrote and authored as well, book and movie. And he was just, so full of himself. You could see it instantaneously in the movie. And Zendaya playing Mary, she wasn't feeling it at all. She wasn't feeling it. So as dialogue kept going, you started to see how real this was and how this happens in real households. And that's what I really loved about it, because the dialogue was real. And I'm not saying all men, but in a lot of relationships, the men, they think they're egotistic. We bring home the bacon. We're into our careers. This is not every man. I'm not saying that, but it just gave the sense of I can see it from both sides. So with him, ripping and raving about his story and things of that nature, as the story goes along, come to find out, Mary was a previous drug addict when she was 20 years old, and he ended up taking her in. And the story had a lot to do, and point blank period, was based on her and her lifestyle before they got close and before they were married and together. So Mary is feeling a lot of type of ways, because in his speech, Malcolm included everybody but her. When, guess what? I'm your rock. I'm by your side every single day. I'm your inspiration. I'm your influence. So why am I not getting the credit I deserve on stage? But you can credit everybody else, and you didn't even cast me in the movie, in which was about me. So I understood when Zendaya was saying, and understanding her point as Marie. But also Malcolm, he came on the flip side of things. Because previously, and women do this a lot, I'm just being real, women do this a lot. You know, when you ask what's wrong, and then it just keeps building up. Men do it too, but it's a lot more seen in women. I've experienced that. Just where it's just like, oh, you okay? Yeah, I'm all right. You okay? You sure? Yeah, I'm good. So as she's, cooking up her food, whatever, Malcolm was just trying to serenade her. He's happy. He just had a good night. They just got good reviews on the movie. Everybody's ecstatic. But Maria's not feeling it at all. She's not feeling him at all. She's making him food, trying to make him mac and cheese in which he requested. He comes over there all happy, jolly. He's trying to push up on her, and get physical and intimate with her. And she's not feeling it at all. And I felt for Malcolm in that situation because it's like, dag, it's one of those things where, you keep asking what's wrong, even though you may know deep down it's something wrong, and you may not know though, but you keep asking what's wrong because you know it's something there. That's what he kept doing. And eventually, she was just like, if this conversation starts, this is something that you don't want. And he was basically like, let's just have this dialogue, let's get it over with, So she gets into the dialogue, and everything from their point on went toxic. It went back and forth. And I'm not just trying to throw the word toxic out there, but it really was. It was them being happy with one another until it goes to, nah, I'm not really messing with it. Oh, and then you're cruel. You really overstepped the boundaries and stepped the lines. You lost your mind. And this happens in relationship. And I really love the transparency of this movie, honestly. And it was something I never seen before. It was really just dialogue between them two, the whole movie in one setting. And it just made me realize that the overall lesson about this is just, at the end of the day, we all go through our problems. We all have things that we go through. But most importantly, what I talk about all the time, your mental health. You need to make sure that your mental is correct before you get in a situation or relationship with anybody. Because honestly, you can see it in both of them. Maria was damaged because her past traumas and things that she went through with drugs and being an addict. And that was very tough for her to be vulnerable and share that with Malcolm and share her whole life. And now you have my whole life on the movie screen. And with Malcolm, just straight egotistic, everything is about him, self-centered, but also he can be compassionate and caring as well. So it just showed all different aspects of the man and the woman and how it can flip-flop in different ways, man. I felt like that was an incredible movie. I don't want to give up all the movie. I know I told most of it, but I don't want to give it up at all. But I just felt like it was a very important lesson to just understand and know that we all go through certain things. But you cannot build together, or you cannot build upon anything relationship-wise or situation-wise if you're not ready mentally. That is something that we don't talk about or discuss. Everybody's so focused on the physical and emotional and being vulnerable. But if your mental is not together, then you won't be together and you won't be happy. So expressing yourself, it's not just as easy as it comes. So just with that being said, man, that was just an amazing film. I urge everybody to watch that, man, because it's something different. It's something different to the scenery, to the interaction, everything. And it made it feel so real. It felt like I was really watching in my room, just watch my friends fight or something like that, which I know we all have. So it was something very different, man, very different. So, man, shout out to that movie. That deserves an award too, for sure. We're gonna talk about Judah and the Black Messiah next episode because we're gonna take it a whole nother place. That movie, different. Whew, 5. Lastly, would you rather everyone know the details of your love life? Now, hear me out. Of your love life, or the details of your finances, your money, all those type of things. Oh man, this is a tough would you rather, man, because you don't want anybody in your business or your pockets straight disrespectful. You don't ask anybody those type of questions. And with your love life, when you allow people to engage and get into your love life, that's when love can get damaged. It may get damaged. because you have different opinions, you have different objectives on your love with you and this person. So I would say rather everyone know the details of my love life, because my finances, that's something that you shouldn't be able to know or even try to accumulate in your mind, because it's straight disrespectful. You're gonna respect me as a person, and I feel like, you know, knowing the details of your love life, you know, I wouldn't say disrespectful, because that's what you allow to. A lot of these people get so mad about, oh, well, you know, but you're allowing that to happen as well. You know, if you don't allow it to happen, it won't happen. But it's happened to me before, and not in all situations it's bad. It just depends on the dialogue with you and that person. It depends on who their friends, their family is, and it depends on who my friends and family are, or whoever wants to indulge in our relationship. So I would say that just solely off the fact that nobody's about to know what's in my pocket. Point blank, period. Not even my mother, not even, like, come on now. Absolutely. But that's a hard one. That's a hard one, because when people know the details of your love life, that's when things can go in shambles. So that's a tough one, but I'm gonna leave that one to y'all too. So man, make sure you comment below. Hey, we here. We here every single Thursday, man. Amazing episode. My co-host will be back next week, man. My boy Hugh, man. Much love. My brother, man. Game Shift. Make sure you go follow, and it is merch available. Color Power. Make sure you go follow, and it is merch available. You hear me, man. Let's get it, man. I love you guys every single Thursday, 5 p.m. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this podcast. Hey, we're going up. Nowhere but up. And it's stuck, you know? All right, guys. Love you guys. See you soon.